Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'm actually revisiting one of my old videos. I actually reviewed the Flower Beauty foundation and that review did not go really well. But I was determined to keep trying and see what it was about that foundation that everybody loved and didn't work for me, even the people with oily skin and stuff. So I decided to continue using it, and after, I feel like it's been about 2 or 3 months since I've had that, and I've used it with, you know, different primers, different powders and everything like that. So I figured I need to revisit that video and sort of, you know, I feel like I owe it to the foundation because it was really harsh, and I feel like a lot of that was to do with the powder and not actually the foundation. So I thought I would just do another Flower Beauty foundation video. We're not going to be talking about the concealer that we talked about last time, and we're not going to be talking about the powder. The powder I feel like is really I feel like that was the cause of the problem, and the concealer, it's still not my exact shade, and quite frankly, there's so many other concealers that I've used that I tend to lean more towards. So we're just going to be talking about the Flower Beauty foundation because I've figured out a way to make it work for me, and I'm actually quite happy with the results and the longevity of the foundation on my face. So let's get into the video. I just want to start out by saying, if you guys hear something, the heater is on. It is a little bit loud, but if I turn it off, I'm going to be freezing my ass off. So please ignore that noise. I am using my phone as a mic because I do not have a separate mic. So hopefully it's not as bad, but please bear with me. So one of the things that I've noticed with this foundation is to use the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. It could be any, to be very honest, it could be any mattifying primer. I just have this one and I always reach for this one, so that's what I'm going to be using, and I don't use a lot of it. I mainly concentrate this on my T-zone because that's simply where I'm most oily. Also, we need to keep in mind that we are in winter now. Last time when I tested this foundation, we were in summer, and summer has always been very harsh on me. But we are in winter, so I do expect a bit more. I have been using it consistently, so just take it around my T-zone and then just spread it out, so just like that. Also, if you guys can let me know what you think about my framing right now. I am using a different lens, so I feel like it's quite close, and I feel like it might be a little bit more true tone or true to color. So let me know how you guys feel about this. I feel like I really like it. It looks nice. I do have to sit quite further away, but I don't mind it. I feel like it's really nice up close, and I don't get that with my other video. So yeah, let me know what you think. Anyways, moving on. So once the primer is on my face and it soaks in a little bit, what I like to do then is just go in with the foundation. So I still like to wear natural beige. That is my color in this one. It is a pretty good match. And I'm just going to shake the bottle. It is about 8:08 in the morning, and I do have to get ready for work, so this is going to be fun. I just take about 3 pumps, which is about that much. As you can tell, the consistency is pretty thick. If I look on the side, that's where my monitor is, and that's my viewfinder actually. So it is pretty thick, and I feel like it doesn't oxidize or anything like that, so that's a pretty good thing. And then what I'll do is I'll just grab my foundation brush. This is by Clinique, just a regular paddle brush, and I'm just going to spread that across. The coverage is really good. I felt like last time I did not get as good coverage. The trick to this foundation is that you do need to use the sponge, and I feel like sponge gives you the best coverage. And because it is so thick, I feel like the brush doesn't, like a kabuki brush would not blend it nicely. I like to spread it this way just because then it's easier and quicker for me to go in with my sponge and blend it in. But you can straight go in with the sponge and you will get even better results, but this one works just fine for me. I do have a damp Real Techniques beauty sponge, and I'm just literally squeezing excess water out on my napkin that I sit with every day. So just a clean sponge, and then I'm just gonna go in and buff it into the skin. Now with the second layer, if I do ever go in with the second layer, I will actually just do it on my sponge. I wouldn't go back in with the powder, the brush. I'm not dragging by any means, I'm just literally pushing it in just so that I can get a nice skin-like effect. It is full coverage, but it doesn't feel heavy, which is what I like the most about this one. This is like a completely 180 on my previous review. I feel like the more I used it and the way I figured out using it, I feel like that's even better. So yeah, when you spread it with the brush like that, it does minimize the coverage a little bit. But like I said, for every day, that's what I like. By no means would I wear this to an evening out or to an event or anything like that. It's just one of those ones that I would wear on a daily basis, just like a nice evening out of the skin, and then just take whatever's left on my neck. Now that's probably the only place where I would drag, but not on my face. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. It makes your skin look really healthy, if you know what I mean. So I've used up pretty much everything that was on my palette. And then for my concealer today, I'm actually going to be using my Maybelline Master Conceal in number 30 light medium. But before that, I'm just going to grab some coffee. Now lately with concealers, because I do have a really deep set line just here, so I normally take it like this, and then just how I would apply an eye cream. I'm just going to divide it between two fingers like that, and then just dab away, making sure I just look up so that my lower lid is lifted. Okay, so yeah, I've been leaning towards less and less makeup lately, just more skin-like, less maintenance basically throughout the day. I do usually go and touch up once, but that's about it. I'm just gonna go in with my ever so used soft ochre paint pot. I just take it on a BH Cosmetics brush just to cover my eyelids. So again, less layers. I just leave my eyelids bare now, and then I just go in with this primer. This has become my everyday use, and I also take this just underneath. This one sort of works just like a concealer would work for me for my lower for my bags. So just after the concealer, I'd usually go in with this. Okay, so after everything, the sticky base is done, we're gonna set it. Now the key is to setting this foundation and setting it right. So what I've been doing is literally using a loose translucent powder to set the face. Now, any basically powder would do. I do have a little bit left in my Face of Australia loose setting powder, so I'm just gonna be using that today. And I'm just grabbing a triangle sponge, and we're just gonna go in and set the eyes first. Now, depending on my mood, I would either bake or not, like under eyes, but for now, we're just gonna set them in place. I do take my time with setting my under eyes because I feel like that is my problematic area. And because my creases are quite deep set. And I'm very, very conscious of that. So I do spend a little bit of time setting that. And then I'll also go ahead and set my eyelids. Okay, now it looks a little bit crazy at the moment, but now we're just gonna get some more powder out. And we're gonna grab a big powder puff and just grab that. Not as much as Patrick style, but close enough. And you can see the difference. So you can still see a little bit of shine and everything except for the powder that's, around. And this side is completely matte. So that's what we want. You can still see a little bit of shine here. But then when you go ahead and set it that way, it takes away the excess shine. And I feel like it just prolongs the wear of the foundation. Now, because this is really, really a lot of powder, like in my opinion, it is a lot of powder. Some people would disagree with that. Once you're done with the rest of the face, you are going to set it with a Fix Plus or any kind of setting spray, basically. Just not something that is dewy, otherwise that beats the purpose of the whole step or the whole process that we've done so far. So that's how I normally would do my base when I'm using the Flower Beauty foundation. I feel like it works well for me. It's just a few extra steps, but then it is pretty good and long lasting, and I feel like the steps do enhance the wear of it as well. So yeah, that's how I have been able to make Flower Beauty foundation work for me. It is a great foundation, and especially for winter, I feel like it's just good. Good thing to have, basically. Now I feel really, really pasty, so I'm quickly going to jump off, do the rest of my face, and then I'll come and give you the final look of the day, and then we'll go and jump into the wear test. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the rest of my face done. Very, very simple, very light, nothing too extravagant. I'm just gonna do my lips, and then we're gonna set the face together, and then I'll do my mascara. So the lipstick that I'm using is from Essence. This is the Matte 03. It's a beautiful, like a muted purpley color. Looks really close to my lip color, but trust me, it's not. I'm just gonna blot my lip balm. I really enjoy a bright lip when my rest of my makeup is pretty neutral. And I tend to do that more on a regular basis. I'd rather just play up my lips than the rest of my eyes because that takes a lot of time. But anyways, I'm just going to quickly set my face. I'm just using the MAC Fix Plus. And I've just got like a little thing to air my face, I guess. Anyways, just a few spritzes. The reason why I do my spray before I do my mascara is because sometimes the mascara tends to transfer just on my eye bags, which, I mean, hello, beats the purpose. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my mascara now. I am using my falsies. This is the Volume Express. Now, this one, I've noticed with a lot of the Maybelline mascaras, you do have to let them, like, you have to let some air go in it before they become what they're meant to do. So I do tend to do that. And this one, you have to build quite a bit as well. So I'm just going to quickly do my mascara. Alright, you guys, this is the finished look. Just some really light face makeup. Just bronzer, blush, highlight. Same thing on my eyes. I've got the bronzer and the highlight. Brows in place, a nice dark lip, and yeah, we're good to go. So I will check back in once during the day, and then I'll wrap up towards the night. Right now it is 8:39, which means I have 5 minutes to leave the house. So I will catch you guys very, very shortly. Hey guys, welcome back. It is 9:10 at night, so we've had just a little bit over 12 hours of wear, about 12 and a half hours, so we'll call it a 12-hour day. As you can see, I'm significantly shiny, but I haven't touched up or anything like that, and I'll insert a clip that I did at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll leave a timestamp as well. So definitely quite a lot shine going through, but again, we're looking at 12 hours, so significantly longer than I normally would wear it. Usually my makeup is, from the time in the morning that I get ready for work going up to night, just a little bit before I go to bed, and I usually do touch up in the middle of the day. So I've got my hand mirror here. Excuse me. So you can see I've got literally my T-zone that is just like a grease ball, and a little bit of foundation has definitely rubbed off around my nose where I've kept going like this all day. I'm experiencing sniffles right now, so it's really, really annoying. Allergies are at the high right now. I feel like my foundation has still held up around my chin area. Definitely a few patches missing, but then it doesn't look bad even on my nose, like when I come close. Just making sure that I'm in focus. So even when I come up close, like that's when you notice the separation, but when I'm far, like you don't notice it as much. So it doesn't look really, really that bad. My under eyes look really good. There is literally nothing going on that is a bit weird. Slight settling in my under eyes, or like my creases in the in my eye bags, but doesn't look really bad from far, and you can actually see the mattification right here and the separation of the oil that's coming through here. Foundation is still intact around this area, as well as my nose up here and like on the bridge and the sides. It's literally just my tip that is missing foundation. I do experience transferring a lot no matter which foundation I use. The only one that I haven't experienced transferring from is actually the Fenty Beauty foundation, which I really, really love. Again, skin-like finish and everything like that. This one definitely feels heavier now, to the point where I actually really am dying to blot. And that would fix it, but I feel like now at this point, if I do blot, it's going to take off a lot of the foundation, which I'll do just in a second here. My forehead looks okay. It's not as bad as this little area that's going on. Like just this bit is really extremely, it's just a grease ball. My forehead is not as bad. Having said all of that, my contour and my blush have stuck around. A little bit of my highlight is still showing, so not too bad there. I feel like everything's gone on my upper lip area, so definitely not the perfect there. I feel like this little bit is my problem zone anyways. I wish things would stick around on that a little bit more, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and blot. So I'm just gonna use a piece of toilet paper and I'm actually going to use I'm gonna literally separate and use just the single ply. So, or you can use the blotting sheets, but and I like doing this because this literally tells you, or like shows you how much oil comes off. So there we go. Normally I do notice a lot of gathering here, but it's minor today. And I normally do this after lunch. I always go ahead and blot my face post lunch. I'm really used to it, so it doesn't bother me. I feel like it just gives me a fresher look afterwards, so. Okay. So now if we have a look, like it looks a lot fresher. And if I were to powder my face at this point, like it would just look really, really good. Still my tip of the nose now looks quite okay, but you can, again, because I know it's there, I can see it, I can feel it. The separation of the foundation, like you can see a layer that is different. But other than that, like the sides of my nose doesn't look bad anymore. I do have a little bit of flaking in the mascara right now. But other than that, overall, that looks really, really good. I will go ahead and powder. I'm going to use my Australis Fresh and Flawless in medium tan. And I'm just going to use, actually, I'm going to use one of these e.l.f. blush brushes. And I'm just going in and just gonna flick off that flaking. And that's about it, you guys. I feel like it does look really good, and I can probably get a few more hours of wear out of this. No complaints. I feel like after powdering there isn't that significant separation of color and texture, so that looks good. Like honestly, my upper lip doesn't look as bad as it normally would with other foundations. I feel like Studio Fix sometimes looks really weird and crusty, actually cakey, but this one's okay. I do have a little bit of a texture going on right here, sort of that cakey, crumbly feeling just there, but not noticeable from far. So overall, I feel like the last time that I did it, because of the powder and everything that we used, like it was just a very weird combination to use. So I decided to do this updated video because I felt like I owed it to the foundation. It didn't deserve a fair shot, so I just went in the products that I normally would use, and I decided to just kind of make that work for me. And I've been using this for quite some time, since the time that I did that video, and it's been working well for me, especially when I touch up during the day and stuff. If you're working in an environment where you cannot, or if you're going somewhere and you know that you're not going to get the chance to touch up and stuff, this is not the foundation for you. So from an oily or T-zone person, definitely a good product to have in your kit, but honestly there's a whole lot more out there that can actually do a lot more for you. My personal favorites are actually the Maybelline Fit Me foundation and the Fenty Beauty foundation. Those two are fantastic. Something else that I really do enjoy is a mix of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte and the L'Oreal Infallible Stay Fresh foundations. Those together work really well because one is hydrating, one is mattifying, so the combination of the two works really well for my combination skin. yeah, those are the ones that I enjoy using quite a bit. I do have a list of all my foundation shades in the description bar below, so please don't forget to check that out. If you did find this video helpful, and if you did like this video, please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. But until next time, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I will catch you later. Take care. Bye.